Hello and welcome back to my channel. For this card I am using my Favorite Things and Stacy Akula stamp set called Warm and Feathered Hugs. I'm using my VersaFine ink pad as well as my Ranger Clear embossing powder. I'm going to stamp and heat emboss this little owl onto some watercolor paper. The reason I'm heat embossing it is because that just helps me when I try to watercolor. For my watercoloring today, I am going to use my Distress Oxide Ink colors. This color challenge is only 4 colors, so I'm going to stick to those 4 colors. For the cream color, I have Antique Linen. Gray is Hickory Smoke. My purple is Shaded Lilac. And then my bluish green color is Salvaged Patina. In order to use these as watercolors, I'm just smushing them onto the back of some plastic packaging. From here, I can use a little bit of water and make it more liquid to use it kind of like a paint. Now, because I didn't want to bring in any additional colors, like an orange for the beak or like a more yellow color, I just went with the cream color for it. For anyone who does watercoloring pretty often, I'm sure you have way better techniques than me. I don't do this often. I think watercolors can be really pretty. I don't tend to have the patience to let things completely dry, and I usually want to control the situation a little bit more than you really can with watercolors. So for this, I kept it pretty simple. I did try to go back in later to add more layers to certain areas to try to make it look more shadowed, but I don't know if I did a great job with that. I'm better with that with markers. I think it's still cute though, but this image is really cute on its own. I mean, look how fuzzy it looks. It's such a cute owl. This is one of the rare times that during my card making process, I did not mess anything up. And I think I attribute that mostly to the fact that I really already knew what I wanted to do before I even started the card. When I seen the colors for the challenge, I already had a good idea of the stamp set that I could use, and from there it kind of formed on its own before I even pulled out all of my supplies. Here you see me take my clean brush, it is wet, and I am going over the background from the horizon line on up. I'm doing this so that when I drop my color in, it will kind of spread out a little bit, and I wanted it to be a little bit darker at the horizon line than it was towards the top. And this really helps achieve that look pretty easily. I also didn't mind the little splotches of color or whatever. I just felt like that texture looked alright as part of the sky. This is where knowing exactly what I'm going to do for my card was really helpful. I know I would be using this window die, so I brought that out to see how far I needed to continue the sky on my paper. Because I am working with a limited color palette, I did decide to mix my shaded lilac and my salvaged patina color together in order to get the color for the snow. So I added it underneath the owl for the shadow, and I also took it along the horizon line on the snow side just to give it a little bit more dimension. Now that that's done, I am going to take this panel that I had cut out. I had used my Lawn Fawn reverse stitch scallop circle die windows. I think this was the largest one in the set, and I cut out my window. And from there, I am using my salvaged patina as well as a little bit shaded lilac, and I am just splattering the panel. This will help it tie in with the little owl that will be inside the window. Now that that's done, I do have to allow it some dry time. So you can't tell that here, but I did let it dry before I started doing anything else. Now I'm going to stamp my sentiment. I did not want to chance it with the block today, so I used the door of my stamp positioner tool. And I'm just inking it up with the same ink that I stamped the owl in. I will say I did heat set this, and that was done off screen, but that ink does stay wet a little bit longer, so you kind of have to watch that. And for my card base, I just covered it in a color very close to the salvaged patina color, and that is going to leave a little bit of a border around my front panel. Now I glued the owl right behind the window, and now I'm going to glue this panel onto the card base. After that, my card is done. It was fairly quick, even though I had dry time from the inks, and it came together pretty well without too much irritation. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I will be back with another video soon. Thank you all so much for watching. Bye!